Hello everyone, welcome to Sunburned Albino does another Pokemon tier list. We're doing ghost types. It's about time to do some ghost types. I don't think I need to tell you what theme's in the background right now, but just in case you are 5 years old, this is the Lavender Town theme from the original Pokemon Red and Blue. Oh, this song made people kill themselves in Japan or something? I don't know if that was real. It might have been fake, or like gay, I don't know. Something happened. Or it's like, maybe it's just an urban legend, but like, it's said that if you listen to this theme too long, this things start happening to you. So, of course I'm going to put it to the back of this like 40-minute tier list. We'll see just how many of you fall under some very suspicious circumstances. We're going to start with the top left here. Doing, lots of ghost types. Not a lot of ghost types, like a moderate amount of ghost types. We're going to start with the Hone Edge line. Start with Aegislash. Aegislash is straight up S tier, baby. I guess you put both of them right next to each other. Aegislash is amazing. Dude, a haunted sword and shield combination at the end there. Dude, this is Pokemon Sword and Shield right here. Ooh, why isn't Aegislash the mascot of whatever? But this was just amazing. This is an amazing Pokemon. Its stats are phenomenal. It's super cool. I'm a huge fan of Aegislash. I think it's amazing. Next up, we have Bayonet. Bayonet is A tier. Bayonet is A tier because Bayonet is adorable and super creepy. I read Bayonet's Pokedex description because I think in my top 10 Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon video that I made a few years ago, I think Bayonet was like number 8 or 9 on there. Bayonet is like a haunted doll that was thrown away by somebody who is like constantly searching, who came to life and is like constantly like searching for the one who discarded it. So like that's a revenge story right there. Dude, if you ever threw away a doll in your life, you should know it's gonna come back and it's gonna, exact some sweet, sweet revenge on you while you're sleeping. It's gonna be very dark. It's gonna be like 2:30 a.m. and you're going to be sleeping, and you're going to feel your covers shift just a little bit. You're going to feel like maybe they start getting tugged off you, and you'll be like, dude, what the hell is that? And then you're going to look at the foot of your bed. You're going to see those red eyes and that zipper smile staring back at you. Oh, it's over for you then. It is over. So, I really enjoy. I love Bayonet's backstory, and I love how it looks. It looks so cool. Mega Bayonet just takes the creepiness to a whole nother level. And Bayonet's got good attack. Bayonet was one of the few ghost types in Gen 3 and prior that were actually good because he had good physical attack, and Ghost was a physical type back then. So, he could learn Shadow Ball and it would actually do damage, unlike Gengar, unlike, whatever else. Misdreavus. So, yeah, Bayonet is A tier. I really enjoy him. Next up, we got Chandelure. Chandelure is S tier. Dude, there's so many great ghost types. Ghost is one of the most, consistently well-done types, as far as I'm concerned. There's a couple duds in there. Looking at you, JoJo Unbound. But, for the most part, legendaries don't count, or mythicals or whatever. But for the most part, they're super good. Chandelure, I don't understand anybody who could possibly hate Chandelure. Chandelure came about in Generation 5 when everybody was bitching about object-based Pokemon, even though we, debunked that and we've already talked about. But it's why would Chandelure induce that? Chandelure's an amazing Pokemon. Look at it. And it's got base 145 special attack, and it's not even that slow either. I think it's as fast as Decidueye. So it's one of the best ghost type Pokemon, if not the best non-legendary ghost type Pokemon in existence. So Chandelure is just a godly god, awesome, great, terrific Pokemon. Cofagrigus, which is not how you say that, but it's how I've always said it. I think it's Cofagrigus, that's how they're supposed to do it. I watched the black and white anime. They said it once. I totally forgot what it was. It's Cofagrigus. I don't know, I say Cofagrigus because it's it sounds better to me to say it like that. Emphasis on the right syllable, am I right? So, Cofagrigus is a Pokemon that's very interesting. This could be an example of, do you think it's dumb or not? It's a haunted sarcophagus. I don't know what's cooler than that, conceptually. They're like an ancient Egyptian mummy type of deal with like a bunch of weird hands coming out of it for some reason. Yamask in particular has a really cool backstory in that like the face that it holds is the face of what it looked like when it was human. But like if you look, in the actual Pokemon games, all the faces are exactly the same. So it's like, I don't understand. Was there like a set of like 9 million twins that all died and they all became Yamask and they were the only ones? I'm waiting for a Yamask who has like who's carrying a face that's like a Victoria's Secret model face. Like I'll catch that Yamask and then maybe we can have some good times. But yeah. So anyway, Cofagrigus is cool. Major defense. One of the physically defensively most bulky ghost type. And it's not weak. It's sort of just like, I don't know, like, there's nothing really wrong with it. I'll put it in B tier. I don't think it's a bad Pokemon. I think it's pretty alright. I think it's pretty cool. I'm cool with Cofagrigus being in B tier, and then I never have to say Cofagrigus again this whole video. So, Blacephalon, this freaking clown thing, you go right into F tier, just like you did the last time. I don't remember what I think it was like Ghost Fire type, but I was like, I don't know where the fire comes in here. But... yeah, you go, I don't want to think about you ever again. I'm sick of looking at your not even face that you don't have, and I want a gun. I want it, you deleted from all existence, please. Decidueye, as far as a ghost type is concerned, because we've already talked all about Decidueye, is probably B tier alongside Cofagrigus. Damn it, I said Cofagrigus again. I said I wasn't going to say Cofagrigus again. Here I am just repeating Cofagrigus all over again. Decidueye is B tier. It's fine as a ghost type. It's not particularly fast. It's not as fast as it should be, as I keep saying. It's not even really that strong for how not fast it is. It's a mixed attacker. It's got like base 100 stats. It's not particularly bulky. It's sort of all around, but it's sort of all around mediocre. But like a little better than it's B tier. I give it B tier. So some people wanted Decidueye in Smash, like they thought that Decidueye should have gotten in over Incineroar. I disagree with that because Incineroar is the only wrestling type of thing that was ever in Smash to begin with. So that was like a new genre. Whereas Decidueye would have just been Pit and Dark Pit. Like, it's just a Pit reskin. Like, it really is. Besides the fact that it doesn't have a sword. But, like, the bow action and the fact that it has wings, like, that's Pit. It's just Pit over again. So then we have Dhelmise, who is like a haunted anchor. Dhelmise is friends with Dragalge, I think. I think I read that in a Pokedex. Like, Dragalge and Dhelmise are, like, best friends for whatever reason. Like, they, Dragalge is, like, in the open ocean, sinking ships, and then Dhelmise is what, like, the anchor on those ships? Or, like, does it feed on shipwrecks, maybe? Like, they have a symbiotic relationship? Could be. Dhelmise is Grass Ghost, which, with the seaweed makes sense, but, like, it also has this steel-type affinity, where it learns a bunch of steel-type moves. So, like, if there were trip types, Dhelmise would be Grass, Steel, and Ghost. And that would make 100% sense to me. So... But Dhelmise, as far as an actual Pokemon goes, I did use one once. And I think that I am going to put it in... It's, like, really strong, physically. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to put it in A tier. I want to put it above Cofagrigus, which I just said Cofagrigus again, but... I do think it belongs in A tier. Dude, I have nothing against object-based Pokemon. Like I said, I'll put them in A and B tier all night long. And you're going to have to deal with it. Then we have Drifblim. Drifblim, we talked about flying a little bit. Drifblim's like one of those like legend type of Pokemons legend types of Pokemon. Where it's one of those like when I say that, I mean it's like a word of mouth thing. Because, Drifloon only showed up in Sinnoh on Fridays or something outside the Weather Institute. So it's like you would find it by accident and you could easily miss it. So that was one of those things you had to tell people about. That's what I mean by that. But even for that, like, it's not that good. It's fine. It's got tons of HP. It can learn things like Will-O-Wisp, and like it's good at like debilitating foes as well. I want to put Drifblim in C tier. I don't think it's that great. I like the concept though. I like a ghost flying type. I think we need another ghost flying type besides Oricorio. Oricorio doesn't count. I think I mean it counts, but like to me it doesn't count. Even if it counts, I want another ghost flying type. That's what I'm saying. Whatever, doesn't matter. You know, because this is just a form. This isn't even like a full-fledged Pokemon, you know? So, Drifblim goes into C tier. Next up is Dusclops and Dusknoir. You had Dusclops only in Gen 3, and then Dusknoir was added Generation 4. Dusclops was... You know, you'd fight against Elite Four Phoebe. She had 2 of these. It had, like, super weird coverage moves. One of them knew, like, Ice Beam and Earthquake. I think another one knew Thunderbolt or like some kind of electric type move. So Dusclops had like a weird coverage, but it wasn't even that good. Like Dusclops isn't strong. It's just a bulky Pokemon. So Dusclops is sort of. I want to put Dusclops in D tier, and then I'll put Dusknoir in B tier. Because Dusknoir does, you know, make some improvements. For it's more bulky and it's stronger. So Dusknoir is just a better version of Dusclops. And, you know, they thought that he needed it, and he sort of did. So, makes sense to me, man. Dusclops is, you know, the coverage, you know, that applies to Dusknoir from Dusclops. So Dusknoir also gets, like, all this, like, super good coverage moves. So he's cool from that. You know, Earthquake, all that. But I haven't really used him super well. You know, Dusknoir is good in like a Trick Room scenario, I think. I think people use him in there. But, yeah. Then we have Jellicent. Who do you like better, male Jellicent or female Jellicent? I gotta say male Jellicent, because the color and the mustache. Because this is like a giant mustache, right? But this is like, I don't know, a beard. And it's like, why does the female Jellicent have a beard? And this one has like a Monopoly Man mustache, which is super cool. I really like that. But it's like, obviously this isn't a beard, but like, you know, when you think of what this is representing visually, and then this is like supposed to not be that, it's like, how can I not think that this is a beard if this is a mustache? So, male Jellicent is, I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's better than Drifblim. It has way more HP. It's not really bulky, though. Like, it has a ton of HP, but it's not that bulky. It's got good special defense, I think. But it's like, this is just one of those Pokemon it's basically like a haunted Wailord. Like, you're really getting the same sort of mileage out of it. So... And then female Jellicent is C tier, because you look silly. You look silly. This dude's all, like, elegant and, like, I am a, you know, gentleman. And this lady's just like, you know, it makes noise like that, and it's not as cool, if you ask me. Then we have Frostlass. Frostlass is S tier. Frostlass was S tier in Ice types. Frostlass is S tier in Ghost types. Frostlass is just one of the coolest Pokemon. I'm such a fan of it, you know? It's so cool. Generation 4, you know, you can give it crap for having a horrible region, but, like, the changes it made were really good. The Pokemon it added were good, with the exception of the fact that it added 0 Fire-type Pokemon, except the starters and Heatran. I don't even count Heatran. But, yeah. So there was a giant lack of Fire-types in the Sinnoh Pokedex. But, you know, it added so many cool evolutions to Pokemon that needed them, so Frostlass was one of those, and I really like it. I am a fan. Up next, we've got Gengar. Gengar was horrible in the first generation because its Ghost-type moves were physical, and it was not a physical attacker. Also, Poison was physical, and it was not a physical attacker. So Gengar had, like, the Sneasel effect going on. But now Gengar's good, so it's like, you know, Gengar's pretty good. And so because Gengar's pretty good, Gengar goes into A tier, alongside Banette and Dhelmise, in my personal humble opinion. Mega Gengar is weird looking. It's like you turned him into this sort of like 4-legged monster thing. It's kind of weird, but it's fine. I'm not factoring in the Megas into stuff really. Then we have Giratina. Or is it Giratina? It's like Giratina, but like I say Giratina because I feel like... Dude, I invent my own pronunciations. You know what, Game Freak? Whatever I say it is, you should also say it is. Because I am the most knowledgeable person about Pokemon who's ever existed. And I know what the people want. And the people want to call this Giratina. So, Giratina it is. Giratina sounds like a teenage girl, but so does Giratina, I guess. Anyway, Giratina Dragon Ghost, dude, this is one of the most, like, cool, like, threatening-looking legendaries, definitely. I'm a fan of how it looks. It's pretty cool, man. I definitely prefer the original form. And when I say, isn't Giratina O... like, the O stands for origin form. What I mean by original form is I like the first form of Giratina more than when it turns into Superior, like dead corpse Superior. So regular Giratina is probably S tier. Like, that dude is absolute monster and should be very scary. Whereas this Giratina is A tier because it's just like, oh, you're just a snake now. Like, oh, you don't even have legs. What's threatening about you not even having legs, bro? I mean, he's got, like, spikes coming out of his abdomen. Looks like a centipede, more like it. He's just like a, I don't know, like a dead mermaid. So yeah, there's a difference between these two, and that is for sure. Dude, Golurk is S tier. Golurk is one of the coolest Pokemon ever. It can learn Fly because, like, its, like, legs come off, and then it has, like, jet fuel coming out of its ass or something. Like, it blasts off. Like, that's amazing. Golurk is amazing. One of the coolest Pokemon. Oh, so good. Dude, another Gen 5 Pokemon. Gen 5 made the best ghost types, I would say. Gen 5 made Chandelure. Gen 5 made Golurk. Gen 5 made... What else did Josh? What else? Come on, there's got to be more examples. Don't leave me hanging right now. Gen 5 made... Cofagrigus. Ah, I said it again. Cofagrigus is fine. But, yeah. You know, Chandelure and Golurk, though, like, they can rep it by themselves. They're fine. They're good enough. Then we have... Where did I just put somebody? What was the last thing I did? Oh, yeah, I put Golurk up there. As well-deserved. Ground Ghost type. Dude, this dude learns Earthquake. This dude gets... has Iron Fist ability, so you give it, like, Shadow Punch and, like, any of the punches that you want. Absolutely kills it. Gets, like, fighting type moves, too. His coverage is insane. He is great. Golurk is a monster machine. Super cool. Gourgeist is D tier. First of all, you have to get, like, the XXL version, or, like, the XXS. Which one is this? The smaller ones are faster and stronger, right? And the bigger ones are, like, bulkier? I don't remember. But, like, it's like the size matters when it comes to Gourgeist, and so, like, you have to get... You definitely don't want one that's in the middle. That's a complete waste of time, but... Or it might just be... Yeah, anyway. Gourgeist is not very good. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's not good. I love Pumpkaboo, though, in terms of, like, if you watch the X and Y anime and you watch Jessie catch Pumpkaboo, it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in Pokemon. It's so stupid, but I love it. Then we have... Oh, yeah, just this Hoopa. Go into F tier. This Hoopa is at least, like, C tier, because, like, at least you look like something. Hoopa looks like a Powerpuff Girl. No, Hoopa looks like a villain in the Powerpuff Girl universe, right? Doesn't this sort of look like Princess Warbucks, or whatever her name is? If she turned completely evil? Like, that's basically what's going on here. Dude, Powerpuff Girls are amazing, by the way. That show is... That was my favorite show when I was a kid. I watched the movie in theaters. Super good. Really, really good. So, yeah, I might just, like, rewatch a bunch of those episodes if they're still on Netflix. Powerpuff Girls, so good. What was... Okay, after Hoopa, then we moved on to... We're over here with Lunala. Lunala, as far... Yeah, I'll put you in A tier. You're not quite as good as Giratina, but you're as good as Giratina O, if you ask me. Then we have Alolan Marowak, who goes in a D tier, because why are you that? Alolan Marowak is awful. It's so bad. I don't like it at all. It's got the same stats as regular Marowak, which means it, but those stats are not beneficial to a fire and ghost type Pokemon. And it's like, I think it still learns a bunch of its like regular ground type moves, and you know, as far as like the club stuff goes, it's like, dude, there's no reason for Alola Marowak to be a thing. I'm not a fan, you know. Conceptually it's cool. It's like, oh, you know, your mother died and then you became obsessed with death and the occult and you turned into this like cultist tribal thing. I understand that thematically, but it doesn't translate well into battle. So Alola Marowak goes over there. Marshadow is A tier. Ghost fighting type. I've never used it. I didn't even really know it existed, except, you know, it was one of those Pokemon that Game Freak's just like, ta-da, Marshadow. And it's like, oh, okay, where'd this come from and why? But whatever you want to do, man, But Marshadow is still cool because, like, its stats are really good and it, you know, has some nice theory craft behind it. But, you know, if there's a Marshadow movie, I want to see it. I'm still waiting for that, unless it already happened, but still. Then we have Mimikyu, who is S tier. Mimikyu is, dude, everybody got behind Rockruff in Gen 7. Everybody got behind Rockruff and Mimikyu, really. Like, Mimikyu was also a very much loved, instantly loved when it was revealed. Everybody was like, dude, that's awesome. I love that. Ghost Fairy type Mimikyu is so good. Has an OP ability in PvE where you can just battle with it and not take damage ever if you're strong enough. So I enjoy it greatly. Mimikyu is one of my favorite Pokemon. Probably top 5 now. So good for Mimikyu. Yeah, don't really need to think about it. Beyond that, dude, look how many ghost types are in S tier already. So, alright, beyond that, then we have Mismagius. Dude, Mismagius is also S tier. There's so many S tiers. Or is it Mismagius? Mismagius? Mr. Magoo? I don't know what its name is. Mismagius, that's all, you know. But yeah, it's got like the witch thing going on. It's a ghost, it's a specter. It improved upon Misdreavus. First of all, Gen 4 made Misdreavus by itself good, based on finally, you know, special attacks and all that. And then they also gave Misdreavus an evolution that made Misdreavus so much better. And, you know, it's got great, it can learn Psychic, it can learn Thunderbolt, it can learn Power Gem, it can learn, like, Magical Leaf. Like, its coverage is kind of ridiculous. So, Misdreavus is also super good. I'm a big fan of that. Then we have this Lunala, which, yeah, fine, going to A tier alongside the other Lunala. I don't care. Anyway, Oricorio is B tier. I have not used the ghost type version of Oricorio. I've used the fire type one and the electric type one. But I've not used the ghost type one. I will assume that the ghost type one is good because, I mean, most of the Oricorios are good except the psychic one in my estimation. But like the ghost one's probably pretty damn good. Probably pretty good. I like the way it looks. It's got like that kimono girl thing going on. Like a haunted, spooky, you know, grudge type of kimono girl. Pretty cool scenario. I want more ghost flying types. Give me one more ghost flying type. Galar, come on. I know you can do it. Next up, we've got Palossand and Sandygast. Dude, this is the last straw for some people, I bet. Like, they're like, all right, Gen 5, you know, we were okay with Chandelure. Gen 6, alright, you put a haunted sword and shield Pokemon in there. You're kind of pushing on that. And then Gen 7 was like, a fucking sandcastle? You would have put a sandcastle in there. I really like this Pokemon, though. It's not as good as it should be. I think they should have made this Pokemon better for, like, the gall that they had to make this Pokemon in general. Like, it's got an ability that's like, if it's hit by a water type move, does that like boost its defense by 2 or something? But then it's like, what if you're against a special water type, which is most of the water types? Then it's like, what was the point of that? That's not helpful at all. But yeah, another ground ghost, so in the same vein as Golurk, but definitely not as good. It's bulky, but in ways that don't matter based on who is going to be fighting it. Like, you know, again, like, its weaknesses are mostly against special types, like types that are mostly special as opposed to physical. So like even its strengths don't make sense for what type it is. So I wish it was better. But I love how it looks conceptually. I'm a fan. But so I'll put it in C tier. I'll put it like next to like Driftblim and stuff. But if it was good, if it was conventionally good, I would put it like way higher tier. But it's not. So unfortunately, I can't. Then we have Trevenant. Trevenant is better than Gorgeist. I will actually put Trevenant in B tier. It's got really good attack, I think. Like, it's pretty solid. Pretty solid situation we got going on there. Rotom. This is the only ghost-type Rotom, and, you know, for good reason. This Rotom is good. This is the only Rotom I like, in fact. I hate when it goes into other appliances. This Rotom, electric ghost-type, is the one that I enjoy. It's got good stats, you know? Or, like, I don't know. Does it? I don't remember. It doesn't look like it does, but I think it sort of does. Like, you know, you can use regular electric Rotom, and it's perfectly fine. But, you know, that's the only one that I like conceptually, design-wise. So we put that one in A tier. Then we have Sableye, who we talked about in the Dark-type tier list. Sableye, really cool-looking Pokemon. Really nice, cool idea. It's sort of like if Meowth, like, died and then became a spirit that had unfinished business because it became, like, super obsessed with, like, shiny objects. You know, like, this is like if Meowth went overboard and, like, sold its soul to become rich. That's basically and then the contract was fulfilled because, like, when you sell your soul, you get 10 years, and then after 10 years, the Hellhounds come for you and they, like, drag you to hell or whatever. This is canon. This is real life that I'm talking about here. So then, like, Sableye would be like a shell that's left behind, or like an eternal damned spirit that somehow made it out. So that's cool, but, like, it's not good, and especially now because it used to have no weaknesses, with the exception of if a fighting-type Pokemon used Foresight on it, but it's like, why are you going to let that happen? You know? Okay, like, you could send Sableye out against a fighting-type and be like, yeah, you can't hit me, none of your moves can hit me, haha, and then the fighting-type will use Foresight, and then you're just going to stay in there like, oh, you can hit me, but I'm still going to stay in here for some reason. No, like, you would switch him out at that point, so it doesn't even matter. He effectively has no weaknesses. But now he does, because Fairy exists. So, you know, bad for Sableye. But Sableye is C tier. I wish it was better. And then its Mega is like, I don't like that type of Mega. It, like, becomes bulkier and, like, you know, reflects stuff or something. Magic Bounce is a great ability, but I don't like that as, like, the one thing that you've got going on. Then we have Shedinja, who is way too gimmicky to work. It just doesn't work in a PvE scenario. You can't send this dude out ever, because every Pokemon under the sun has, like, one move that's super effective, or can do, like, a weather effect that kills it, or can, like, use toxic or poison powder or something. So, like, Shedinja is just unusable. It's unusable. But I like the concept, and I like how it's cool, like, how you need to get it, because it's another one of those, like, you have to talk about it type of things, or you'll discover it by accident, because you gotta evolve Nincada to level 20, and then have an extra Pokeball in your bag, and have an extra slot on your team, and then when it evolves into Ninjask, it leaves behind a shell. And I bet the first time somebody saw that and wasn't expecting it, they're like, wait, what? Like, that must have been a cool moment. So Shedinja has been a harbinger of plenty of cool, like, oh, that's such a neat thing, and then, like, you know, somebody used it in battle and it was like, oh, it dies in one hit to, like, everything. Oh, well, you know, cool, but, like, not. So, like, Shedinja's really F tier, if you ask me. Like, it can't do anything, but it's cool, so fine, I'll put it in C tier. You know, you can go right up with Sableye and stuff. And then last but not least, we have Spiritomb. I don't know what would be least. Probably this goddamn clown monster. But Spiritomb is another Ghost Dark type that is better than Sableye. It's better than Sableye. It has better stats. It's bulkier. It can do more stuff. It gets Nasty Plot. Shadow Sneak. You know, things that, you know, Cynthia's got one. And Spiritomb is a Pokemon that I do like. I do like it. And I like it. And I would put it in, like, B tier. It's not super special, but it can do some good stuff. Like, it's a cool Pokemon. But yeah, Ghost is a very high-performing type. Because as you can see, we got 3, 6, 8 Pokemon in S, although actually one of them is the same Pokemon. So 7 Pokemon in S, and only 2 in F, and the 2 in F are Pokemon that, like, basically don't exist anyway. Like, you're not going to run into them on the street or nothing. So S tier, we got Aegislash, Chandelure, Frostlass, Giratina, Golurk, Mimikyu, and Mismagius. And F tier, we have Blacephalon and Hoopa Unbound. And in B tier, we have Cofagrigus, so that's cool. That's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino. We only got like 2 more types to do, or 2 or 3. So that'll be good, and then we'll do some other Pokemon-related things. I'll come up with some more ideas. Follow me on Twitter at Sunburned Albino, and I will see you guys next time.